Hello and welcome to Manga 96, and today we're going to talk about Arifureta Shokugyou de Sekai Saikyou. Today's topic will be the human-faced fish who became Hajime's first male friend after his fall, with him even coming in clutch to save Hajime's ass on a couple of occasions, where he won't be winning any Father of the Year award anytime soon. In addition, I'll be covering a rabbit who doesn't have any connection to the Howlia tribe but still idolizes Hajime. It does seem that Hajime is a rabbit magnet anywhere he goes. Anyway, the rabbit has also a close relationship with Suzu, but Hajime is still his number one. I'm of course talking about Lehman and Inaba. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you go and read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with a fish that has a human face. Lehman is a human-faced fish monster that is constantly traveling. He has a grumpy personality, analogues to that of an old man, but he is actually very friendly and humble with Hajime, and really appreciates Hajime's help when he was rescued him from the captivity in Furen. Another proof of his gratitude is when he stalls the monster near the sunken ruins of Melusion that attacks Hajime and his companions. Lehman loves to travel and explore the world. He can't stand to be in one place for too long, which usually puts him at odds with his wife since she wishes for him to spend more time with her and her children. As for his role in the story, Lehman was swimming in a river not too far from Brooktown when it suddenly erupted due to Hajime and his companions getting flushed away from the Great Resin Labyrinth by Mildy Raisen. The only one who spotted Lehman was Shia. Lehman looked at her and asked what she was looking at using telepathy. This shocked her and nearly caused her to drown after she inhaled some water. The rupture in the lake caused Lehman to be ejected onto dry land, where he was found by some humans and taken to the Merside Aquarium in Furen. During his captivity, he would once again meet up with Shia while she was on a date with Hajime, and was surprised to see the strange fish again. Shia began to stare at it intensively until this caught Hajime's attention, and prompted him to speak with Lehman using his own telepathy after reading that his species has the ability from the plague on his tank. Lehman was surprised that Hajime could use telepathy since it was a skill that was normally used by monsters. The two of them got into a long telepathic conversation before Shia intervened. Hajime decided to free Lehman by using one of his crossbeat artifacts after he and Shia left the aquarium. He will then meet up with Hajime again along with the rest of his party outside of the sunken ruins of Melusion. They were fighting an ancient and gelatinous aquatic monster called the Devourer, and Lehman could sense a large gathering of mana from the battle. He used his telepathy to control a school of fish to aid Hajime. Though the Devourer eliminated all of Lehman's fish, he was still able to buy Hajime enough time to craft the weapon he would need to win. Sometime later, he encountered the young Dagoon Mew out in the ocean, after sensing the magic from a pendant she wore that Hajime gave her, which its various abilities gave Mew the power of telepathy. Initially, she was scared of Lehman but quickly calmed down after he convinced her that he was harmless. After learning that Mew was Hajime's adopted daughter, Lehman vowed to help her if she was ever in trouble, and also advised her on the type of wife that Hajime should be with. Just then, Lehman's wife appeared and dragged him down to the bottom of the ocean while complaining to him about not spending enough time with her or his children. After the war against Echt, Lehman became very famous throughout Tortoise due to his association with Hajime. One day, he was visited by the Kickmaster rabbit Inaba out in the ocean. While the two of them were conversing, Lehman suddenly sensed a disturbance in the water. Moments later, they saw that they were being frantically approached by many underwater monsters. The two of them decided to fight back in order to protect the coastal city Erison, which was Mew's old hometown and was in the incoming monsters' direct path. After an intense battle that resulted in the deaths of many monsters, Lehman and Inaba saw a strange pyramid-like object floating out in the water. The two of them then sensed that it possessed a similar trait to Hajime's artifacts and suspected that it was the cause for the monster's sudden arrival, which prompted him to want to obtain it in order to study its properties. It was then that the pyramid communicated with them using an unknown language. The two of them decided to approach it in order to uncover its mysterious nature. Inaba initially tried to convince Lehman to leave it due to the potential danger they may face, but Lehman argued that it was all the more reason for him to investigate, and the two of them would have a better chance of reporting back on whatever they discovered that if only went. The two monsters finally charged ahead in order to discover the truth of this mysterious object. Since that time, Lehman and Inaba's whereabouts were unknown for years. As for his relationship with Hajime, Lehman is considered to be Hajime's first male friend since he was summoned to Tortoise. The two of them instantly bonded when they first met at the aquarium in Furen where Lehman was being held. Moving on to the kicking rabbit. Inaba is a Kickmaster rabbit that witnessed Hajime's battle with the cloud bear in the Tortoise Orcus labyrinth and recognizes him as the Lord of the Floor. After gaining true sentience by drinking the leftover ambrosia from the divine stone in the labyrinth, he trained in the lower labyrinth floors so he could meet Hajime again. Eventually, they met after Suzu convinced him to become modified by her metamorphosis magic when she was traveling through these floors trying to subdue monsters with it, and Inaba became one of Hajime's allies and Suzu's companion. After the fall of Echt in the final battle, he traveled around Tortoise fighting monsters. After drinking the ambrosia and developing sentience, Inaba gains an ego and acts very recklessly while learning to understand his emotions. But after his desperate battle with the Cloud Bear and understanding his desire to meet Hajime, his maturity became that of a full-grown human. Although he is still very hot-blooded and dislikes being bored and stagnated, he is also always looking for a fight that can excite him and became rather disappointed whenever his opponents can meet his expectations. As for his role in the story, originally Inaba was just another Kickmaster rabbit lying in the first floor of the abyss within the Great Orcus labyrinth. He eventually stumbled upon Hajime's fight with the Cloud Bear, which was considered the Lord of the Floor, but after Hajime managed to beat it, the rabbit considered him the new lord. For a time, he observed Hajime's behavioral patterns from a distant spot due to being very wary of him, but he found his hideout and confirmed that he must not approach that place. After Hajime donned his hideout, the rabbit entered soon after, where he found a small puddle of ambrosia Hajime left behind and proceeded to drink it. Upon consuming the liquid, a rabbit then started to feel mana surge throughout his entire body. His mind began to become clearer and was able to sense the presence of his surroundings several times stronger than he did before. He also has gained true sentience. The rabbit decided to go find more ambrosia while battling other monsters along the way, but due to his recklessness, his travels eventually led him to confront the Cloud Bear. Unlike the other monsters who knew the difference in their strength and would try to run away, the rabbit did not cower in fear and challenge in desperation. As a result, he survived the death match and awakened the derivative skills Air Dance and Steel Legs. After his victory, the rabbit decided to go on a journey to meet Hajime and give his thanks while showing off his strength. After that, he would head off to see the world. Along the way, the rabbit grew in maturity and had been able to descend all the way to the 80th floor through his own strength and cognitive skills, which the latter now equal to a human's adult. He eventually meets Suzu while he was on the 90th floor searching for monsters to subdue with metamorphosis magic. When she noticed him ascending from the 80th floor full of vigilancy while agilely and silently moving from the shadows. The rabbit also noticed her and stopped in his tracks and made his way towards her. Kaori and Ryutaro, who were with Suzu, also noticed him and approached him cautiously. He could sense that the twin iron fans Suzu was holding were of Hajime's design. Suzu was immediately smitten with the rabbit, and after a self-speech-esque proposal, the rabbit became Suzu's companion, and upon their return, Hajime was allowed to name him Inaba, after a few other reject names. Hajime then crafted a pair of leg armor artifacts in order to aid him in fighting. Due to being a monster that was born in the true Orcus labyrinth, and the intense fights he put himself through, Inaba has developed immense strength and is very capable of fending off strong opponents, as shown when he fights against 3 of Mu's demon rangers, albeit they were not even serious. without dying or getting scratched, and fending off Eri's attacks, dishing out his own to her. And thanks to the twin leg armor that Hajime created for him, his strength is further enhanced. As for his relationship with Hajime, Inaba was originally very cautious of him and recognized him as the Lord of the Floor in the Great Orcus Labyrinth, but after drinking the ambrosia and becoming Suzu's companion, he holds immense respect and admiration for him. If made to choose between orders from Suzu and Hajime, he will prioritize Hajime's orders. As for his relationship with Suzu, Inaba's former employer and now friend, he is no longer her familiar and not part of her monster army, but he is currently friends with her. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on the fish with a human face and the kicking rabbit. And that'll be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below, or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.